Mi sueño y mi ambición todo el tiempo es tener un carro.
Candy is 17 years old, a year under the age of consent in the Dominican Republic.
Yo hasta sueño con eso casi interdiario. En los sueños como que soy yo que estoy manejando.
She's been selling sex to tourists since she was 14.
Hola.
Hola.
Candy. Hi. I'm Krish. And this?
Frandy.
Frandy.
Frandy James.
Candy was raised by her grandma after her mother moved abroad. From the age of 11, she has lived in this single room with her baby boy, her brother, sister, and her 2 children.
How often do you have to go out to work?
Bueno, yo salgo mucho. A la semana yo salgo, uy, ya hasta en un día sabía salir hasta 4 veces, hasta 5. Si yo, el dinero que yo gasto, en realidad o se me van en los niños o se me van en la casa.
Is it mainly tourists who you see?
Mayormente, sí, son turistas. Por eso yo consigo un buen dinero por eso, porque yo le gustan las muchachas flaquitas, ¿sabes? Con el cuerpito, así medio yo.
Do you think they know that you're under 18?
Yo le digo, porque muchas veces hablando con la verdad se gana mucho.
Candy tells me later this week she's meeting a regular client, a Swiss tourist who flies in for sex.
How old is he?
Él tiene 76 años. Él me manda el dinero por Western Union y me ayuda mucho. No solamente viviendo esta vida, no solamente así.
By early evening in the Dominican capital, Santo Domingo, young women are on the streets in search of trade.
It's perfectly legal here for individuals to buy or sell sex on the streets. In fact, this is one of the most sexually permissive environments in the world.
Even though sex under 18 is illegal, about 1 in 4 of those selling sex on the street are thought to be children, according to the International Justice Mission.
Hola, Candy. How are you?
Candy and her sister Catherine introduced me to 2 young girls aged 13 and 15, whose identities we are protecting.
How long have you been working on the street?
Desde los 12 años.
Why did you start?
Mi mamá se fue para afuera, yo vivía con una tía y ella no me trataba bien y cosas. Y cogí la calle.
What do you miss about being a child?
Los estudios, mi familia. Estudié contabilidad.
Accounting. It's a good job.
They make £10 a night, double the average daily wage. But they tell me it's dangerous work.
Porque cada quien tiene su puesto. Entonces, si otra persona me ve que yo me pongo en su puesto, lo que pueden hacerme algo.
Candy, your work is quite different to these girls. You're not on the streets. How have you managed to have a different kind of client?
También yo le pido dinero por internet y me lo mandan. Como dije, yo voy a ir a Rendolio ahora el jueves. Y no solamente con él, porque luego yo tengo que seguir haciendo lo mismo.
Adiós.
Bye, Shorty, cuídate, ¿oíste? Catherine, ya tú sabes.
Their faces look so young. You couldn't possibly mistake them for grown-ups. And any man who wants to pay them to have sex is a child abuser.
The Dominican Republic is the most popular tourist destination in the Caribbean. A record 6 million people travelled here last year, among them 200,000 Brits. Boca Chica is the nearest resort to the capital and one of the most popular. But its beaches have become a favourite with sex tourists from Europe and North America.
Oye, sicario. Dime a ver, ¿todo bien?
Everybody knows you.
Ya. Tengo toda mi vida aquí en esta playa. Él tenía una hija.
Supiro's been a sex worker since he was a teenager. He also volunteers, trying to help children being exploited for sex or at risk of it.
How old do you think she is?
Como 15 años.
Right in the open like that.
Supiro says some of the tourists in Boca Chica are looking for sex with young boys.
La mayoría vienen por sexo, por eso tienen esa curiosidad de probar un chico dominicano, un chico joven, como allá no pueden, ellos vienen a hacer lo que, a disfrutar aquí, a cumplir su fantasía.
He says sex tourists target the poorest children who sell sweets and trinkets.
Por su infancia y eso, lo que le llena los ojos con cualquier disparate.
Hotels here are supposed to stop guests bringing under-18s back to their rooms, but it doesn't always happen. Supiro says if we sit here long enough, we're bound to be offered sex. After 5 minutes, I'm approached by a man asking if I want anything or anyone.
Okay, well, I'll be on the street at 10 o'clock.
I tell him I'll meet him later, intending to film him secretly.
He was basically a pimp. He was saying I could have whatever I wanted, girls, boys. He sells drugs as well. And he was saying that the youngest he could get was about 14 years old, and that he could get round all the rules at the hotels that demand ID, saying that they're over 18. You can have whatever you want.
The whole atmosphere of Boca Chica at night is decadent and sleazy. Sex workers, the chicas as they call them here, come in from around the country, selling themselves to the tourists. The pimp, Chulo, turns up, but everything is so blatant here that instead of filming secretly, I just tell him what we're really doing, and he agrees to speak on camera about what he does.
So you say you can get anything. What do the tourists ask you to get for them?
Hay mucho que le gustan los chicos. Yo le puedo presentar mucho caminando normal, le digo, ¿te gusta eso? ¿Te gusta ese? ¿Quieres su dinero? Ellos entran.
So how much do you get paid for this?
Que él puede pagar $50, yo hablo con el chico y le puedo dar 35 para él y 15 para mí.
And what about girls? You said you could get me a 14-year-old girl.
Conseguir la chica se hace más fácil porque aquí hay muchas hasta de 13 por ahí andan. Que un extranjero, un italiano, me estaba diciendo que él iba a dar 20,000 pesos porque le encontraron que sea señorita.
How did you find her? Just on the beach?
No, en el barrio, para allá arriba. Y hay gente que a veces tú le hablas y aquí en Boca Chica se mueve mucho el dinero, que son poca la gente que no entran por dinero por algo.
Does it make you feel bad, what you do?
No. Y me dicen sí. Si me dicen no, yo no le voy a decir vamos a la mala, no.
Your name is Chilo. Chilo means pimp. Do the police never bother you?
Ellos saben que yo lo que estoy sobreviviendo.
Today, Candy is due to meet the Swiss tourist who regularly comes here for sex with underage girls. He's 76 and is paying her $500 to spend 5 hours with her. That's 3 times the average monthly wage.
Hola. How you doing? So are you still going today?
Sí, bebé, a la playa, pero con la persona que tenía que ir, no. Me dijo que estaba enfermo y no puede venir.
How did you meet him in the first place?
Lo agregué a Facebook y él me mandó su número y empezamos a hablar fue por WhatsApp.
This is him. Did he like this page?
Sí, porque yo tengo fotos media sexy. Entonces.
That was going to be a lot of money for you, wasn't it? So what will you do instead?
Bueno, ir a la playa sola me siento. Cualquier hombre que se me pegue, pues yo me voy con él porque atrás del dinero que yo ando.
Candy leaves her baby, unsure how long she'll be gone.
Dale un besito a tu hermana que se va. Vete con Dios, no güey. Vete con Dios.
The whole family are relying on her to bring back some tourist dollars. It's a beautiful beach, but watching Candy at work is a sad scene. She's trying to catch the attention of every passing man, all old enough to be at least her father. And no one is biting. She joins some other teenagers who've come in from out of town doing the same, hoping they'll be more noticeable as a group. But it doesn't work.
Difícil está la cosa, no sé qué es lo que pasa hoy. Quizá porque viene y la playa no está con muchas personas.
So do you worry about getting money?
Bueno, mi hijo ahora mismo necesita pamper y yo no tengo dinero para poder comprar los pampers. Pero como quiera, yo no me voy a quedar tranquila hasta que no consiga el dinero.
Having failed to pick up a client here, Candy will have to go onto the streets tonight, something she tries to avoid.
This is the colonial zone of Santo Domingo. It's a beautiful place and a hub for all the foreign tourists who come here. But it also seems to be a gathering spot for the remarkable number of apparently single older white men.
Amongst those out tonight are Dominican sex workers, mingling and available. Some of them men, like Juan.
Do you remember the first time a tourist said they wanted to have sex with you?
When I'm 12 years old, I see a nice guy. He talked to me to practice sex, to buy food, to buy clothes.
You're not gay though, are you?
No.
For 200 euros, you will...
I don't think 2 times.
You don't think twice?
No.
Did it mess with your head at all?
I don't feel good.
The sex tourists who come and try to have sex with the young boys, they can't do it in their country. Why can they do it here?
In Dominican Republic, think about it. Money talk.
But the police station is just there.
Yeah. Police station. What they have inside?
Cops.
Exactly, the cop.
They're rotten, the cops, you know that.
And what do you think of what's going on with all the sleazy tourists?
Wait a minute, sleazy tourist. It's a poor country.
Yeah.
People needs to eat. You understand that?
But that's exploiting them, isn't it?
No. The tourists bring the chica to lunch to have a good meal. They're happy. You know how much they can make a day.
Yeah. But what do they have to do for it?
For Christ's sake, sex. Not
Okay.
less than that
Okay.
to make money.
If you stop the sex here, it will be empty. Thank you very much.
Okay?
Thanks for talking to us.
Okay.
Candy and her friend are working together. It's not long before they get talking to a man. After a few minutes, they leave for his hotel. Candy later tells me he paid them each $15 to have sex with him.
Of course, he may not know that Candy is only 17 years old, but it's up to him to ask, because he is now breaking the law. And the strange thing is, as you can probably see from the flashing lights on my face, there are police all over this square, and they're doing nothing about it.
Despite the UN highlighting child sexual exploitation here, there have only been a handful of convictions. But none of the government agencies want to talk to us. Some local voluntary groups believe that keeping tourists happy is the priority in this relatively poor country. There are people trying to change things. Xiomara is a teacher, but in her spare time, she goes out trying to help young women and girls on the street to get them back into education.
Ay, que tenemos una actividad el martes, invitarte.
No me habla actividad a mí. Yo aquí me busco mi cuarto, yo singo. No puedo ir a la actividad. La actividad mía está aquí.
Muchas gracias. Bye.
Ese es mi trabajo.
It's a tough sell. Many of them are illiterate in a country where 1 in 4 girls leave school early because they've become pregnant.
It seems very early in the morning for girls to be selling sex in the park. I mean, is this normal at this time?
Sí, es normal. Que ella, las 10 están aquí ya disponibles. Por ejemplo, la chica que estaba de aquel lado, vestida de rosado, ella me dijo que no podía que ustedes le graben porque ella estaba esperando a alguien. Es decir, que ella tienen aquí sus clientes que vienen a esta hora.
After being repeatedly rebuffed, Xiomara spots a very young-looking girl.
Hola. Hola chica, ¿cómo está? Yo soy la facilitadora que da los talleres aquí en el parque los martes de bisutería. Allá tenemos un proyecto que son para chicas que desean, ¿verdad?, darle otro rumbo a su vida. Tú eres joven, tienes todas las oportunidades por delante.
Manuela is 16 and has been on the streets for 3 years.
Where do you live?
No vivo aquí.
You live in the park. Why don't you live with your mother?
Porque pelea mucho.
Y hay problemas de conflicto familiares muy fuertes. A veces es que no asumen la responsabilidad de la hija, la tiran a la calle muy joven, no la cuidan, no la sostienen y la chica tiene que salir.
Would you like to change your life? How? What would you like to do? What is your dream?
¿Cómo?
Model. So you'll be here on Tuesday?
Yo voy el martes.
El martes. Manuela, yo confío que tú vienes. Gracias, Manuela. Te espero el martes.
What's really striking is that when I asked Manuela, would you rather live with your mother? She says no. And that seems to be at the heart of so many of these stories. Young children falling out with their parents, and they end up on the streets selling their bodies.
Before leaving, I'm going to catch up with Candy again, but I'm in for a surprise. On Sundays, she goes to church, where she's been a committed evangelical Christian for 5 years. It's a more reflective and vulnerable side that she's kept well hidden all week.
Cuando yo voy a la iglesia, yo siempre voy a pedirle perdón porque uno comete muchos pecados, en realidad. A lo que yo me dedico solamente es un pecado muy fuerte. Me da vergüenza porque yo soy muy temerosa de Dios. Prostitución, eso es fuerte.
Do you see any way out of this life?
Si no, mira, mi hermana ahora ya va a dejar esa vida, se va a ir para afuera a trabajar con mi mamá. Después me va a llevar con ella. Un día por delante todo se va a acabar ya.
What are you thinking? You miss your mother, don't you?
Yo digo que soy fuerte por todo lo que yo he aguantado porque mi abuela lo trataba mal, mi abuela no daba muchos golpes y mi mamá no iba a la casa y mi papá tampoco. Y cuando yo la veía a ella era una vez al año. Ella no daba muchos golpes todos los días, todos los días. Cualquier cosa que nosotros hacíamos estaba mal.
Candy's childhood was stolen from the age of 11 when she had to start fending for herself. But in another surprise, she now reveals she's just started going to school again after dropping out at 14.
De los clientes que yo tengo me envían el dinero para yo poder juntarme en la escuela. Y gracias a Dios estoy estudiando. Si Dios quiere, cuando yo termine, si sigo aquí en el país, yo quiero trabajar en un call center.
Candy, this is really good.
Para que mi hijo me vea como un ejemplo, para que no me vea así todo el tiempo. Que mi mamá no hace nada y que ella se busque el dinero.
I'm quite flabbergasted by that, to be honest. I mean, she's been putting up this front all week of this tough woman who does what she has to do because she needs her money. And the truth is, you know, she is just a girl who really misses her mum, who desperately wants to be looked after, and who just reveals now that she's quietly going to night school and wants to go and work in a call centre and get a proper job. This is the real Candy. Candy is a child, let down by almost every adult in her life. Her real dream isn't a house or a car, but the normal life of a teenager. I wonder if those sex tourists who claim they're doing the girls a favour ever think of that. Thanks for watching this Unreported World episode. Click the logo to subscribe for more award-winning documentaries from the Unreported World team. We upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday, keeping you up to date with content from all over the world.